Hi, it is the Human Operating System time. This channel is for educations and technology only. Today, I'd like to share with you a critical issue in traditional Chinese martial art, and of course it applies to Wing Chun also. So, I often get questions by Wing Chuners, friends, and traditional Chinese martial art friends. Be it message to me or asking me in forum. And the question is, why do you think you have the final say? There are many people ask me that. Okay, the Grandmaster asked me that, their Sifus ask me that around the world, in forum, in messengers, and so forth. So, my answer for all these people is, I have never had the final say. It's not my final say. So whose final says? This is the final say. Okay? So I don't have the final say, and I don't want to have the final say. This is the final say. It is loud enough if people really study in this. Okay? So it's not only in the East, in the West, there are many people study what is going on. So all this evidence from all these people have the final say. Not me. It is by evidence. It is scientific. Okay? Now, I'd like to share with you a disaster in traditional Chinese martial arts. It happened for hundreds of years already. In fact, it is a bug, like in software in the bug of traditional Chinese martial arts, or Chi Quan and so forth. And that bug is exactly what you see in the movie, in the Kung Fu movie. Okay? So this bug have three elements, which is some in 90 years ago, in 1930s, by the Grandmaster like Ma Tang in China. And the three elements of this disaster, or this bug or this sickness is, number one, in Chinese it says 师承门派. 师承门派 is like what is my style, who I study with, my title, my how to say that, my generation. Which generation is it? Am I elderly? Okay, so that's 师承门派. That's number one. The second is 神秘化, secretive. And then you make it magical. The third is 舞台化, make it stage-like. Like, 1930, they don't have movie as today. So it is, it means 舞台化, meaning make it looks good in the movie. So in 1930s, Grandmaster, well, Ma Tang is a Grandmaster in Xingyi and different art. You can check on his teacher and so forth. So at that time, they want to get rid of this 师承门派, which style I'm from, which lineage I'm from, who's my teacher. I have a higher generation than you, those kind of stuff, and you lower generation, you shut up. Okay? The second is, this is a secret taught by me, by this Grandmaster. And the third is, make it looks good. So this is in history of traditional Chinese martial art, is in record. You can even serve the wet today and now serve under Dr. Ma Li Tang or Grandmaster Ma Li Tang, you can see that. Okay? So at the 1930, they want to reform. They said this is no good because they have, at that time, they faced a lot of challenges from the West and from Japan. Okay? So they want that traditional Chinese martial art is capable to develop a strong body and be able to fight. So they want this. They do not want this. And they want to get into scientific. Okay? And if you read the book from Dr. Ma Li Tang and his friends, you can see that they start to bring in this heart rate, the respiration rate, and talk about the Western science and medical and so forth. So that's 1930. Today, the movie is exactly show you this. You go to movie like the Grandmaster, this Grandmaster movie, that Grandmaster movie will show you this style fight this way, that style fight that way, this Grandmaster and that and all kind of style, and you have this secret teaching, and then you looks good and this and that. So today, instead of we follow what is exists, which they want to reform, the real martial artists want to reform in 1930, we go to the opposite. We get into this, and we're thinking that's the truth. So after that, it's like you look at the people like Chi Quan, who get put into the jail and die there. They are working to make things scientific. You look at Nan Huaijing. He also make things into scientific. Open the thing up. Not this. Nan Huaijing is teaching everybody. Say, well, you know, whatever come to me, there's no secret. I teach everybody. So in the past generations, you have this expert like Nan Huaijing, Chi Quan, and the Ma Li Tang, and so many of them, they just open the thing up. Okay? Like Chi Quan opened up the Mei scripture, it just release it openly and explain what it is. Okay? So they want to get rid of this. But you know, China, since 1930s until today, almost 90 years, you get all kinds of problems. This like Russian, that warlord fighting, that this guy, you know, inner war, all this kind of thing. And today, people making this kind of thing as a movie. This is Kung Fu movie, and the entire world crazy about it. Okay? If you study Wing Chun, don't you heard about this thing? 学无先后，达子为师. Learning have no senior or junior. The person who have mastered it, expert on it, is the one who can lead, or the one you want to learn with. This 学无先后，达子为师 actually is to set a proper direction instead of getting into the 师承门派 or the my style, my lineage, my grandmaster, my level, my seniority. But the question is that do people walk their talk, or they just talk this thing, and then when one act exactly like in the movie, exactly is one act on what the 1930s and people want to get rid of. Why they want to get rid of it? Because they see it. If this thing is not get rid of, it is the end of the thing. Look at it. Even 450 years ago, General Chi Quan, He didn't tell you about what seniority, what style. He combined the style. He fused the whole thing. It's like today's MMA, right? Read what he said. So for 400 years ago, 450 years ago, Chi Quan have already do it, and today we have so many people we can find out in the East and the West. Everybody is study the reality, not get into this. But you have this movie keeping pumping everybody doing that. So that's why people ask me, well, Hendrik, who the hell do you think you are to have the final say? Well, I don't have the final say. According to 1930, get rid of this, it is here. You need to have evidence. You need to present evidence. You need to really tell what it is. Okay? So this is that serious. At one point, this is a real story, real account, real records. I was in one of the forum in Asia. So one guy is mixing the 1850s sets. He had bit and piece, and he changed it. He mixed it with Bak Mei and Long Hing stuff. And then he made this video out there, and he said that this is the what do you call it, the Wing Chun from 1850s, and then this is the way, and then because it's Grandmaster, everybody clapped. I said no. This is not proper. So there are another Asia Wing Chun Grandmaster say the same word. Who the hell are you to have the final say? Well, of course I tell him the same thing. I don't have the final say. That is the quid there. That is how the teaching there. If you don't follow that, you change it, you say you change it. You can say that, well, I change this, that's fine. But if you say this is what it is in 1850, in Chinese we say 欺师灭祖. You bully your teacher and then you actually destroy your ancestor. Why? You create something and then you make use of the ancestor's name, under the ancestor's name. So I don't buy into that. Why I don't buy into that? I'm just follow what from General Chi Quan until 1930, and all these people like Ma Li Tang and Zhou Quanchuan and everybody. Not all Chinese is like that. Not all Chinese watching the movie and just following the movie. Okay. So am I just have the last say? No, I don't have the last say. I point out this is the evidence. Even in 1930s, they want scientific. Then you can disagree with me, right? But show your argument with your evidence. Instead of saying that, you just attack people personally, or you just saying that I'm more senior than you, so you shut up, or my last name is this. Okay, my last name is the same with your Sigong's last name, and your last name is the different last name, so you don't know. What type is that? That is exactly this. Okay, so we need to get rid of that. And I let you know here, not that I'm against people. This is a dead trap. 450 years ago, General Chi Quan has to fuse all the Chinese martial arts just to fight the Japanese pirate. Before that, it is a mess. The Shaolin send their people inside there, they get destroyed by the Japanese pirate. The other style sent into that place, Fujian area, that area, the Shanghai area, they get destroyed by the pirates. Well, so who fixed it? General Chi Quan fixed it. How did they fix it? Get rid of this thing. Because the Japanese pirate do not give a damn on what is your lineage, what is your title, what is your seniority, or how secretive it is and how good looking it is. 450 years ago, it's like that. 1930, when they face challenge from West, from Japan, from Russia, they feel the pressure. So that's why they want to get rid of it. And in Wing Chun, don't we hear this? Learning have no senior or junior. Those who is good at it, expert at it, is the lead. That exactly is try to get rid of this. Okay. So I'm not the guy who stand up like, you know, I'm the pioneer. No, I'm not. I just relay this message to all of us in the West and the worldwide. Even Chinese today, they don't study much of this, the ancient stuff. They learn all these things from what? From movie. And movie exactly go to. Okay? Now, so we're going to solve it here once and all. Okay, we want to solve it once for all for this. We continue on the reform. We want to solve it once for all. Because this is the way good for everybody. Everybody will benefit. Of course, somebody will not like it. Because if somebody, you know, is taking advantage of the seniority and style and all this kind of stuff, they for sure don't like it. But the question is asked is this: do you love Wing Chun or you love yourself? Do you really love your Sifu or you love yourself? If you really love your Sifu, your Sigong, your Sizhou, you want to go this? Where you know that is disaster. You might be the king of the world or the authority or whatever, but you know this is going to collapse. Since 400 years ago, from General Chi Quan to 100 years ago, people know it already. Okay? So that is the thing. We need to think in public minded. Okay, I know everybody want to be famous, want to be prosper, but have to think about the people. So let's get into this. In traditional Chinese martial art, there is a comprehensive martial arts, comprehensive art. So what is comprehensive art? Comprehensive art is, like the other day in the last video, I explained that the state, like state space, states, you know, it is a state. Comprehensive art consists of states. It is a state with the 6 core elements. Okay? So the states have the 6 core element there. States, okay, have the 6 core element. So states is like a physiological states, your natural states, or your engineering, you know, the state, that states, okay. The element within it is the 6 core element, which is the body, mind, breathing, chi, force, and impulse momentum. So the states, every state consists of or is built out of this 6. It is comprehensive is because this 6 core is like a combination lock. You have all the sequence and you have all the 6 core elements considered. That is called comprehensive. And another name in the ancient name given to it is internal art. Okay, it's internal art. Now, there is a semi-comprehensive art or semi-comprehensive Chinese martial arts. In today's scientific language, it's called that. And it is actually the same thing, states. However, it lack of the complete full 6 core element there. For example, they might have the impulse momentum, but they might not have the force, they not have the chi, they not have the mind, so it is less than 6. That is called semi-comprehensive art. And that is what in the history of the Chinese is called as external art. So when we read the ancient scriptures and so forth, you can see it. Whether it is a comprehensive art, where the states have all the 6 core elements, or the semi-comprehensive art, which is the external art, where the states is actually less than 6 core elements. Okay? So as today, for the 6 core element here and all the states, I have put into this H model in the Wing Chun Inception. The H model in the Wing Chun Inception, and C model, where you have the 6 core element there. Okay? So I map it into that for the model, and then you know that the H model is actually based on sport science, and also based on, you can track with your variable device, the technology today. So we close the entire thing, or we map the ancient traditional Chinese martial art or Wing Chun into this today's sport science. So everybody can know what it is. Everybody can verify scientifically. And so that I am not the guy who have the final say. This is the final say. This is the final say. It's not me. Okay? So don't against me, because I am just presenting this thing. That way, everybody, every Wing Chuners, every traditional Chinese martial art practitioner in the entire world is based on the same reference, same scientific and systematic reference. Then there is no more my style, your style, my lineage do it this way, your lineage do it this way, and then the level seniority. We walk the talk of learning have no senior or junior. Those who is expert on it lead. So this is the expert. This is the scientific. They lead, not me lead. Okay. So make it like everything is governed by law, not governed by anybody. Okay. Otherwise, we cannot proceed, because if we don't know about this technical issue, we don't know what it is. We cannot further develop the art. Say Wing Chun has 6 million people. Well, excluding me, maybe over there are 5.999999999 million of talents. Only I'm not a talented person. Okay, so if you have this, the 5.9999 millions of Wing Chuners be able to grow, to be creative, to proceed further, to expand Wing Chun based on science and evidence. Okay, so that's how it ought to be. This is a 2020. You can get wiped out if you keeping doing this movie stuff. Well, you know, the movie get people hyped, but the movie doesn't solve the issue. And then turn around asking them who have the say, who do you think you have the final say? Those are actually mislogic already. We need to look into it, saying that what is the base What is the evidence of this thing? What is the scientific verifications of this? Instead of asking those, is that your say, my say? It's not a political party, okay? This is science and technology. Now, because of this, like the 6 core element is clearly wrote down here, okay? And this H model and so forth is clearly there. So, if somebody tell me, when you're trained on this thing, you have to be soft, or you use mind power, and you use Chi, and you use Fragments, or you have to be internal, or philosophy or title of certain people. Well, that actually doesn't tell me much. It doesn't cover this thing. It's just some kind of fragmented stuff, which is, it doesn't cover this thing. It is like if we ask people, you know, please show me how to build an automobile. And then people say that, well, it has to be using steel. It has to work with this professor. It has to be have Newton philosophy. Well, nobody knows what it is. That's what it is. So this is nothing to do with internal at all. This is just some kind of fragmented stuff, which is we couldn't even know what it is. This is what the ancient now map into the scientific and systematic way. Now, maybe you guys, some of you guys will ask me that who don't watch my video on the states and so forth, ask me about the 6 core element stuff. How is it a comprehensive Wing Chun, for example, is the state with the 6 core element and has to be 6 core element in order to comprehensive? Well, it's simple. For example, we talk about this Gong Sao. This Gong Sao. Now everybody in Wing Chun study Xiu Lin Tang know this Gong Sao. The first is the physical body. Okay, the physical body is this way, so that this is rounded. It's not jumping other things. So all the joints is actually open up, so that it be able to be used dynamic and not hold on to it. That's the physical. The second is the mind. How to direct this, how to handle this dynamic of the physical. The third is the breathing, how the breathing need to synchronize to support this physical. The fourth is how is the Chi flow, which is in Chinese meridians, how it support this movement. The fifth is the strength. How is this strength? What type of strength is that? What type of force is that? So you know that it is actually a transportation of force from the chest to the fingertip. And then the last one is the impulse momentum. Well, how is this applied, or how is this in terms of impulse momentum handling? Well, this is for sure not the straight one. This is actually a spin. It is a torque type of a momentum, angular momentum type, spin type. Like if you go straight, you don't have much force. You end up have to use your shoulder to support, to apply strength. But this is a forceful. You want it to have the Chi, which is the meridians, and the breathing, and the force transport in the same directions, and while the body is in the spinning, so that the momentum is the angular momentum type. Everything is considered so that the entire thing is one piece. Okay. So if I just tell you using mind power, well, I miss 5 of them. What happened to the another 5? What happened? If I say that I just using structure, that means it is. So what happened with another 5 of them? If I say this just being soft, what happened to the other 5 of them? If I just say that be fa jing, so what is fa jing in terms of this 6? So it has to answer the questions of how you handle every element. How do you handle the body, the mind, the breathing, the chi flow, and the impulse momentum. That's why, as in the Wing Chun Inception, I have a chart here for the synchronization. So that is called internal, according to ancient Chinese, or comprehensive. And that's why it's a map into the H model, and then we can check it. We know what it is. So this is to share with you this today, okay? Let's not get into this. Of course, you know, everybody is free to think they like. But if we want education and technology, we know that for hundreds of years, this is a dead trap. If China doesn't have this inner war, you know, fight between country and all these chaotic situations, cultural evolutions for the past 90 years, I don't have to be sitting down here to try to explain this. I really don't enjoy to sit here to explain this. Serious. The issue is that there are 90 years of mess in China, and you end up that all this thing is in chaotic situations, and then you get travel into the opposite directions of what the proper traditional Chinese martial arts supposed to be. You end up like this. So for me, can I change the world? I cannot change the world. I only can share this with you in this YouTube, and then wrote the book so that you can go to the university some days, because these are technical books, and then show you all this evidence. As for who follow, who don't follow, you know, is beyond me. As again, I say that I don't have the final say. Final say is not me. I'm not the authority or whatever. It is the evidence and it is the science which have the final say, not me. Okay. So this video, I know it might be really difficult to swallow, but I have to swallow this too. I have to swallow this too. Who is to say that the 1850 Xiu Ling Tao is the ultimate? Today we know it is not the ultimate. After we look at all this thing, we know it is not the ultimate. And we do know today, with the checking of the heart rate variability and SpO2, all this internal Chi Gong, Chinese Chi Gong, is going to get obsolete if it is not proceed to grow. Make use of the fusing with the science, the sports science and the variable technology. Because today's sportsmen can just check their SpO2 and heart rate variability to determine whether they are going to continue to train or they need to recover to rest. And can we do that in the Qigong? Do we know our body enough? If we say, well, I have an internal Qigong, do we know our body enough, like the Western sportmen, where they use like this gadget, this Garmin Tactic Delta? It can even tell you that are you in recovery and what do you call it, lower aerobic, anaerobic, how to balance your training is in there. So What good is the Chi Quan or all this internal training if we don't even know how to handle this physical, where the Western science, sports science have proven that if you don't handle that, you can cause injury, or you could cause sickness, and you could do not have a good result in your training. Sports science. And you don't have the endurance if you don't train properly. And your cardio do not have a good development. Sports science. So where do you address this in your Chinese Kung Fu, internal Qi and Fa Jing, everything? Where the MMA is using this, is Olympic is using sports science. Where do you stand? When you ask that questions, you know it is very scary. You know that thing is almost obsolete if we don't really carry into the Western sports science and be the same with everybody, and really know what actually our ancestors do, what they are teaching, what they are presenting, instead of keeping always my lineage, my style, my sifu is this. I have this secret move. See, this is how it has to be looked. Soft. What are you doing? So, this is to share with you today. Okay, this is serious stuff. This is about development. And of course, now everybody is free to do what they like to do.